Is he a bull? Is he a bear?
He's just a guy on X.
Hello everyone, it is Friday, September 20th, and we are live at the muln facility outside, and look, here are some of the investors that are getting just decimated by the muln stock price as it's looking to close at another minus 10% on the day in 3 months. Well, if you had $1,000 then, you have about $30 now. But let's go over to our insider whose identity we will conceal because he does not want to be known, and we will respect his wishes.
You know, it is amazing what our company is able to achieve in such little time. Today, just today, the trucks have arrived in Saudi Arabia, and that is why you're seeing a bump in the stock price, because people are starting to see that we mean business. We promised you deliveries, we got you deliveries. Now, don't ask how many trucks we sent and vans, because we would rather not tell you that number. And when reading the PR, the article, do not look into the forward-looking statements. Pay no attention to that. Also, don't look into Volt Mobility, and definitely don't look into Volti, the ones that we said they were a subsidiary of muln, and now in this PR it says that they're an independent company. Pay no attention to that whatsoever.
Alright guys, now for something a little bit more realistic. We're going to look into the PR actually. We're going to look into the article that just came out, and the first thing that pops out is that there is no number of trucks that have been delivered. It just says muln's commercial vehicles arrived in Dubai this week. Muln staff also on site in Dubai this week to meet with Volt leadership. First initial shipment includes Class 1 and Class 3 EV vans and trucks. No mention of numbers of vehicles. Now, by the picture, it looks like there's 2 M3 trucks, and there might be probably 2 Class 1 vans. Also says here that Volt's $210 million order includes 300 vehicles this year and 3,000 vehicles in 2025. But what I find a little bit odd is they have a purchase order from Heights Dispensary. This was back from 2021, August 3rd, 1,200 muln ones. Why are they sending deliveries to Saudi Arabia when they owe Heights Dispensary 1,200 vehicles? Also, they have a purchase order of $15 million, 250 trucks, Class 3 commercial EV trucks to MGT Leasing. They should be sending those to MGT Leasing, not sending them to Saudi Arabia, an order that just came in this year. And the MGT Leasing, that was from May of last year. It seems like muln doesn't have their priorities straight. Let's read on. Muln Automotive working in conjunction with independent company Volti Group. Now, thanks to Kendall Payne for putting this out, that in the PR, in today's PR, it says that they are an independent company, but in the 8K filing, the SEC claims that it is a wholly owned subsidiary of muln Automotive. And Volti Group is one that you really should look into a little bit more. Michelle Smith, CPA, if you follow her on Twitter or X, you'll find some really good information about this. And she posted this a little while ago, and it says, a few days ago, Volti invited us all to check out their charging stations in the vibrant streets of Miami. So Kendall and I accepted that invite and just tracked down 2. Unfortunately, though, the charging stations must have vanished into thin air. And what she is talking about, the pictures that they have posted on their website and what you can look at Google Maps of that same area, the charging stations are not there anymore. Looking deeper into it, Kendall posted this. What are the odds of 2 pictures taken 6 months apart, reportedly, of 2 public EV chargers in different locations having their charger cables coiled in the exact same manner? And if you look at these 2, it's the exact same the cords being coiled up. The exact same. There's no difference whatsoever. These pictures are photoshopped. When you look at the Google Maps location of that and they're not there, there's no holes in the ground that you would have seen from those boxes being bolted down, or even a conduit where you get the wiring coming up to power these chargers, because you don't just place these in places and it doesn't have their own power. So they have to be connected to something. There's no signs of it ever being there. So if Volti is going to do something shady like that, and muln is affiliated with Volti, do you think that possibly they're lying about these purchase orders with Volt Mobility? Now, let's look into the forward-looking statements of this article. Certain statements in this press release that are not historical facts are forward-looking statements within the meaning of Section 27A of the Securities Exchange Act of 1934 as amended. Any statement contained in this press release that are not statements of historical fact may be deemed forward-looking statements. Wording or words such as continue, will, may, could, should, expect, expected, plans, intended, anticipate, believe, estimate, predict, potential, and similar expressions are intended to identify such forward-looking statements. These forward-looking statements include, but are not limited to, statements about our plans, expectations, and objectives with respect to the purchase agreement with Volt, the anticipated purchase and delivery of vehicles, and expected revenue. All forward-looking statements involve significant risks and uncertainties that could cause actual results to differ materially from those expressed or implied in the forward-looking statements, many of which are generally outside of the control of muln and are difficult to predict. These forward-looking statements are provided for illustrative purposes only and are not intended to serve as and must not be relied on by the investor as a guarantee, an assurance, a prediction, or a definite statement of fact or probability. These forward-looking statements are subject to a number of risks and uncertainties, including but are not limited to uncertainty that Volt will abide by its contractual obligations, including payment of the deposit and order of vehicles as expected, the timing and dates for receipt of payments pursuant to the agreement, successful certification of the vehicles in the GCC region, delays in production and deliveries of the vehicle, unanticipated returns of vehicles, delayed commercial product launches, and the achievement of operational milestones and changes in domestic and foreign business, market, financial, political, and legal conditions that may affect incentives and the general market for EVs. It goes on to tell you more and more reasons why these agreements may fall apart. And it is pretty telling. They don't tell you the number of trucks that they send out. In the forward-looking statements, they say that they may not get the certification that they need, meaning that they probably only sent 2 of each to see if they can get those certifications first before they send out the 300 and then 3,000 next year, which I don't think will ever happen. Because the Heights Dispensary never happened, MGT Leasing never happened, Randy Marion being sold out of all their Class 1 vans never happened like they said it did. They sold 1 van to Native Poppy in California, and they decided to go global. Now, why have I turned on muln Automotive? Why am I doing negative videos for it? Am I shorting it? Am I a bear? I am not shorting muln Automotive. If there would be options available, I would be buying puts on it, because for so long I believed these types of PRs like today's. I believed them and I bought into it. I was bullish on it, and they let me down for over a year. The price right now is $6.99, and this is Mark Basile right now, the person that we thought was a knight in shining armor that was going to save muln and save the investors from the toxic lenders. Since he has been hired, December 4th, I believe it was, 2023, it's a little bit under a year right now since he came in to fight toxic lenders and help muln to sign clean capital deals, non-dilutive funding deals. Since then, we have had 2 reverse stock splits, each of them being 1 for 100. The price since Mark Basile came on board has dropped 99.49%, almost 100%, meaning that if you put in $1,000 when Mark came on board, you now have probably less than $10 or maybe even in minus, depending on whether your broker charges you every time there is a reverse stock split. So that is why now I have a negative sentiment on muln Automotive. They have told too many lies. David Mitry is not to be trusted, and they've only sold one vehicle in the US, one muln 1 class 1 vehicle, and they're talking about that now they want to go global. Do they feel like they were that successful in the US that they want to go global? That is all I have for this video. There is so much more information that we need to go over, and I will be making more videos bringing that out because there's a lot to talk about. I do not believe that muln will make it through next year. I believe that they might delist way before that. I don't think the market cap is high enough for the way the price is dropping. I do believe they're going to get a delisting. They will not be able to do a 5th reverse stock split. The market cap will just not be high enough for that. So let's see what happens. They said they're going to get revenue coming in, but I don't think they're going to make it. I think they're going OTC. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, found it informative and entertaining. Do not make any decisions based on my video. This is not financial advice, but do add it to your DD and do your own DD. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.